BioWare issued a public statement on the time Katalka's story on turbulent work conditions during the development of its latest release Anthem went live earlier this week, and BioWare General Manager Casey Hudson has now sent out a lengthy email to BioWare staff addressing those same concerns. The email was obtained and reprinted in full by Kotaku. In it, Hudson tells BioWare staff that problems addressed in the original Kotaku story are real and it's our top priority. It will continue working to solve them. While the intent of the email likely was not to be shared publicly, the full text offers developers keeping up with the story additional background on BioWare's planned responses toward the grievances brought up in the Kotaku story, and where Hudson believes leadership could stand to improve. I was and continue to be excited to help drive improvements in those areas because I love this studio, and above all I want to create a place where all of you are happy and successful, says Hudson. I am not going to tell you I have done a good job at that, and on a day like today, I certainly feel like I have not. The original Kotaku story sought to document the rocky and lengthy development of BioWare's most recent release, and shared anonymous complaints from farmers and current team members about everything from crunch and burnout to leadership issues, lack of development resources, and general problems experienced during their time with the project. BioWare's original statement did not say much on the matter, and while it noted that the company accepts all criticisms that will come our way for the games we make, held to the belief that stories like the one published by Kotaku seek to tear down one another, are one another's work, rather than shine a light on problems prevalent in the game industry. Hudson addresses those same feelings in his email to staff, saying that, as with the public statement, BioWare took issue with the fact that complaints named specific developers as targets for public criticism. It's unfair and extremely traumatizing to single out people in this way, and we cannot accept that treatment towards any of our staff. Following that, Hudson walks through some of the steps he believes the studio has already taken to address original concerns, a more focused studio mission and values, so that we'll have clarity on what we are here to do and how we'll define it, high standard for our studio culture, and talks briefly about some of the production level and overall studio structure changes in the works that will further relieve pressure and anxiety on teams during development. But I know there's much more to do, and we will talk in more detail about other actions we have been planning in response to internal feedback and post-mortems at next week's All Hands. Reads the email. Devil May Cry 5 director HIDEAKITSUNOTALLS Eurogamer about his early days with Capcom. Capcom's Hideaki Itsuno is the director of the studio's upcoming game Devil May Cry 5, and has worked on most of the series' games to date, but his origin with the Devil May Cry games was not an entirely deliberate decision on his part. Speaking to Eurogamer, Itsuno offered up memorable moments from his 25-year career with Capcom and runs through some of the development problems and solutions has encountered throughout his career. He joined the Devil May Cry 2 team about 6 months before the game's release, and he did so in a time where the project itself was in rough shape. So my boss comes to me. He figures I am in the same group as the director, and has one of top players. He comes to me and says Devil May Cry 2 isn't going so well. Is there anyone you know that could work on this? Recalls Itsuno. And I was like, this guy's busy on this thing. This person's busy, so he was like, alright, You do it. The team managed to turn Devil May Cry 2 around into a playable game. In that time, a feat Gamma describes as a miracle despite the game's poor reception. It Itsuno says that before being approached to the Devil May Cry 2 team, however, he was working on the foundations of what would eventually become Dragon's Dogma. Dragon's Dogma would see a release later on in 2012, and Itsuno credits it as the hardest game has worked on so far. But between Devil May Cry 2 and that eventual release, Itsuno served as the director on Devil May Cry 3 and Devil May Cry 4 both. His career seems to be pulled between the Devil May Cry and Dragon's Dogma franchises even still, with Itsuno telling Eurogamer that he had gone to the people up top and said, "Let me make it a Devil May Cry 5 or Dragon's Dogma 2. I thought Devil May Cry 5 would be the better choice right now, so did that. If I could, I'd love to make Dragon's Dogma 2 it." DBism. The full interview talks more about Dragon's Dogma in addition to chronicling some of the development growing pains Itsuno had to work through when branching from 2D fighting games like Street Fighter 2, the 3D fighter Star Gladiator. The 2019 Game Developers Conference kicks off in San Francisco next month. What are you going to see? If you are not sure yet, no worries. As you are scrolling through this year's session schedule and figuring out how to spend your time, organizers want to quickly let you know that a bunch of GDC/SPAKers have taken the time to make 60-second-ish pitch videos for their talks, produced for the 4th year running. These flash-forward videos are always great encapsulations of what makes DD talks great. They are fun, lovable, and surprisingly informative. Plus, they are easy to watch. Just head over to the official DD YouTube channel, which is steadily filling up with smart and brief videos produced by the charming assortment of DD 2019 speakers. Each is a personalized PITCHFORY. You should make time in your busy schedule to check out a given talk while you are attending BD. We have once again no RGANIZADTHESCGDC 2019 flash-forward pitches into a playlist embedded below, and added more information about each speaker, and a link to their talk in the description of their video. Have a look. You can find lots more great videos over on the official BD YouTube channel, which is also regularly updated with new talks, according to DDs through the ages. Subscribe, and you will be the first to know about when the videos are added to the channel. For more details on these speakers, talks, and many more, head over to THEGDC 2019 session scheduler. There you can begin to lay out your DD 2019, which takes place March 18th through the 22nd at the newly renovated Moscone Center in San Francisco. Bring your team to DD, register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more. For more details on GDC 2019, visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, OS. Gamasutra and DD are sibling organizations under parent company Informa. Larian Studios, Divinity Originals in 2 has been called one of the best role-playing games of its time, and at the 2019 Game Developers Conference, Larian Chief Swanvink will show you how it was made. His DD 2019 design track talk on the making of Divinity Original Sin 2 will take you through all the things that were planned to make Divinity Originals into a better game than Larian's 2014 release, Divinity Originals in and how it actually happened. Vink is a strong believer in the power of iteration, and Eternals in2 is a game where his team applied iteration at every level. With varying levels of success, the team learned a lot about how to design and organize file iteration, and the talk will focus on these lessons. Also, expect plenty of examples of both success and failure to help guide you in your own work. Further details on this talk and many more are available now on THEGDC 2019 session scheduler. There you can begin to lay out your GD 2019, which takes place March 18th through the 22nd at the newly renovated Moscone Center in San Francisco. Bring your team to GD, register a group of 10 or more and save 10% on conference passes. Learn more. For more details on GDC 2019 visit the show's official website, or subscribe to regular updates via Facebook, Twitter, OS. Gamasutra and GD are sibling organizations under parent company Anthem. Reports have emerged that Verizon is quietly working on its own engine in the emerging cloud-based game streaming race.